You Google Aubrey and Elwood, there we are. I didn't think it was that funny, but
take what we can get.
But after the rather sedate, lugubrious, and morose, sweet song string band, it's we'll try to inject a little humor into our set. Actually, let's start out in eastern Kentucky by way of Scotland and Ireland. Do a song from the Ritchie family, from Jean Ritchie's older sister. She taught this to Jean after she did it in a play one year. It's an old song from the ancestors that just comes in a few little verses, just a fragment of an old shepherd's carol. Some of you know we're from New England, we're from Rhode Island, and this song has the word snow in it, which is not a popular word this year. But it's a beautiful line. The world is old tonight, the world is old. The stars around the full do show their light, do show their light. And so they did, and so 1,000 years ago. And so the snow on vale and hill like wool lies white, like wool lies white. And so it did, and so 1,000 years ago. And so we'll do, my love, when we lie still.
Well, that's pretty much the funniest song we know, so.
I just have to put my finger picks on from David's dulcimers that I bought earlier today.
You actually paid for this?
How'd I do on that one? And we'll do a song that I am told is a song that is well loved in this community of folk singers. Sunny's Dream from Ron Hines in Newfoundland. And I'm told that the late friend here, Big Jim, used to sing this song. Am I right about that? Do some people know that? And so it's always fun to coincidentally connect to the community wherever we are. Sunny's Dream is a seafaring song. Elwood and I live in the East Bay section of Rhode Island. Dana Hamilton's from Texas. He thinks it's funny that there are even sections to Rhode Island. He used to live in northwest Rhode Island. Now, it seemed kind of unnecessary to label it as such. Rhode Island is 38 by 48 miles, just FYI. That's the whole thing. So you pretty much bump into people you know everywhere you go. And so we live just a block away from the salt water. And I come from a very nautical family. So it's fun to be curators of some of the old sea songs. And this is a more current one. Sunny's Dream. It's a beautiful song of the loneliness of a family when the father is a sailor and he's away a lot. Sonny, don't go away. I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. Nights are so long, silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired and not all that strong. Sonny lives on a farm in a wide open space. Take off your shoes, son, stay out of the race. Lay down your head by the soft river bed. Sonny always remembers the words his mammy said. Sonny, don't go away. I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. Nights are so long, silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired and not all that strong. Sonny works on the land, though he's barely a man. There's not much to do, he just does what he can. He sits by the window of his room by the stairs. He watches the waves gently wash on the pier. Sonny's old and alone. His daddy, the sailor, never came home. Sometimes he wonders what his life might have been. But from the grave, Mammy still haunts his dreams. Sonny, don't go away. I'm here all alone. Your daddy's a sailor who never comes home. Nights are so long, silence goes on. I'm feeling so tired and not all that strong. Sonny, don't go away. There's really nothing like a sad song to cheer you up. And I really mean that. I think we humans love art that is beautifully depicted, and I think that's a beautiful song that Ron Hines wrote. And when we depict sorrow beautifully, it makes us feel better. I would do only sad songs, but I was a psych major, and I know that's not a good thing to do to the audience. So a lot of folk songs are sad, so we'll give you the heads up when we're going to do a happy one. How's that? So we'll prepare you for that. Well, Elwood and I have been very fortunate. We've been full-time folk singers and musicians and dancers for a long time now, about 20 years. And we've been doing this together for 28 years. It's been a wonderful life we've had together so far. It's not over yet. And we've, I don't know what you did. We've had the privilege of spending a lot of time around the elders, and just recently we woke up to the idea that we're becoming the old timers now, which is kind of, we're becoming the masters, and it's an interesting transition, I have to say, and it's a real honor to be teaching the songs of, for example, Jean Ritchie. Jean is 92 now. She lives in Berea, Kentucky. She spent 60 years of her life living on Long Island, and we were not far apart. And we got to know her and her wonderful late husband, George, in eastern Kentucky, and spent many years around them in that old-fashioned knee-to-knee style. People said, oh, you studied with Jean Ritchie, and we said, no, we just hung out. We hung out for 20 years and soaked up the music of Jean and her relatives and other folks, especially in eastern Kentucky. Here's a beautiful song that Jean's parents sang the week they were married. Jean was the youngest of 14, so her parents were old when they had her. They were in their 40s and 50s. Imagine that. So this was in 1895. They sang this beautiful song, and it's a wonderful reminder of how Celtic American folk music can be. And it has one of our favorite lines in it, "Your beauty has conquered me." I'm sure you hear that all the time. How often do you say that to each other?
I've been a foreign lander for 7 long years or more. Among the old commanders, where the thundering cannons roar, I've conquered all my enemies, both on land and sea. It is my dearest jewel, your beauty has conquered me. If I should build a ship, my love, without the wood or tree, that ship would burst asunder if I prove false to thee. If ever I prove false, my love, the elements will turn. The fire will freeze to ice, my love. The sea will rage and burn. Don't you remember Queen Ellen, all in her flowery way, as she walked out of her paradise to punch the golden chain? Her beauty and behavior, none with her could compare. But you, my dearest darling, are more divinely fair. I wish I was a turtle dove, just fluttering from my nest. I'd sing so clear in the morning, with the dew all on my breast, so sweet the beautiful month of June. I wish I was 10,000 miles all on some lonesome shore, or among more rocky mountains where the wild beasts howl and roar. The moth, the lily-powdered eagle, and the winter swallow too. I would give them all my dearest love if I was married to you.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and this is such a beautiful setting, and we're thrilled to be invited here by Dave and Kathy. They came to Rhode Island once to be in a festival we ran for a while, Mountain Music in the Ocean State. That was the name of the festival. And we also had Dana Hamilton in the festival one year too, so it's kind of fun to reunite with our friends. We're going to do a seafaring song that comes from Missouri. Yeah. This is called Adieu, My Lovely Nancy, and we learned it from the singing of Julie Hennigan.
Adieu, my lovely Nancy, 10,000 times adieu. I'll be thinking of my own true love. I'm thinking, dear, of you. Will you change your ring with me, my love? Will you change your ring with me? It'll be a token of our love. When I'm far at sea, when I'm far away from home, and you know not where I am, love letters I will write to you. Every false round, when the farmer boys return at night, they will tell the girls fine tales of all that they've been doing. All day out in the fields, all the wheat and hay that they got down, sure it's all that they can do, while we pour jolly, jolly hearts of gold. Let's plow the seas all through, and when we return again, my love, to our own dear native shore, fine stories we will tell to you, how we plowed the ocean's road. to ring, and the taverns they will roar. And when our money it is all gone, sure we'll go to sea for more.
Okay, people, now for the moment you've really been waiting for. And just a slight correction, it's Limberjack. And we're going to do the Limberjack extravaganza for you now. And Dana mentioned that, what's the Texas state bird is the mockingbird? Well, the Rhode Island state bird is a chicken. And we may be the only ones... We may be the only ones that actually eat our state bird. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, maybe they got mockingbird.
We'll discuss that later. So, and by the way, the horse that Elwood will play is made by Dana Hamilton. He had to ship that to us all the way to Rhode Island. All right, you ready? practice because we're going to be here all day tomorrow and all evening. And doing some wonderful workshops. Oh, contra dance tonight. Don't forget that. And they have beer. I like that.
Paula doesn't, not crazy about it.
Oh, yeah. There's some wonderful workshops tomorrow, and you have this great program outlining everything. And I love this kind of festival because we get to do workshops with each other, the fellow performers, and that's really fun. Like the banjo rendezvous I get to do with one of my favorite banjo players in the whole world, Kathy Barton, and that's thrilling to me. And gospel sing-along, Elwood's going to do a dulcimer workshop. I'm going to do clogging, 10 a.m. here tomorrow morning. Be there or be square. I don't just wear these shoes for fashion, you know. I started to learn this dance form in 1992 when I drove my Nissan Corolla. No, that's wrong. Nissan Sentra from Rhode Island to Eastern Kentucky to meet Gene Ritchie. Unbeknownst to me, I was going to learn all this other stuff, and we were going to make some of the best friends of our whole life. And I see two friends right there from the folk week in Hyman right now. So I went there to meet Gene Ritchie and to learn more dulcimer music, but I learned to flat foot that week. This first step is often known as the buck step, or the two-sounded walking step. You can learn to flat foot. It's an entire dance form in about 10 minutes. And I'll prove it to you tomorrow. The chug is thought to come from the slaves. West African movement with percussion. The Indian is thought to come from the Cherokee ceremonial dancers. I'm told that this rhythm, I'm told by Native American dancers that this rhythm, hi-ya, 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 only exists in Hollywood.
Oh no.
So you learn those three steps and a back step, and you know a whole dance form. When the old time music starts, you just get out there and you freestyle it. So after that first year, I danced like this for 5 or more years. I got leather-soled shoes because they make a wonderful sound on a wooden floor. When you think of the evolution of any art form, you think about our environment. Percussive dance developed in societies where people would wear shoes and they lived and worked on wooden floors. So I got the bug for it, especially the last 10 to 15 years. And every time we'd be at a festival and I would meet a clogger or a percussive dancer of any sort, I would pick their brain. So I went from doing the two-sounded walking step to the three-sounded walking step. And there's another three-sounded walking step with the heels. And then you put all that together and you get what is the tiny step around which this entire dance form revolves. The Tennessee walking step. So I was at a festival in Wisconsin one year and I meet Tamara Lowenthal, who's a wonderful dancer from Indiana. She says to me, add and subtract elements of the Tennessee walking step and you'll really make your feet talk. The old timers call it talking feet. So you take out the right toe, for example. Take out the left heel. Take out the right heel. Take out the left toe, and I'm back to the sparse two-sounded walking step until the Lone Ranger rides in. So every step I do has a story. The scissors from Arkansas. And the solid scissors. The Applejack from Brasstown, North Carolina. Looks like Charleston. And a saucy slide, too. That's saucy, right? Burton, Western Pennsylvania. The scuffle, Ellie Grace from Columbia told me it's called a scuffle. That's one of those reinventing the wheel moments I had. I accidentally did that one time. I made 3 sounds instead of 2 with my foot, and I never looked back. I never did learn the shuffle step I was trying to learn. One time I was watching a Bollywood movie, and I saw them doing this. And I thought that looks like the Tennessee Up. Just a little more swirly. So one time I was in Arkansas again, and a 13-year-old boy said, do the gallop, but add a toe, do it behind your left foot sideways. And by the way, one of the reasons I talk so much when I dance is because I'm the only practitioner of this dance form in the vast state of Rhode Island. And people didn't know what it was. And now they do, because they hear about it from me. But they thought it was tap dance. And you can see tap is different. Tap is on the toes, more bent over, more expressive in the upper body. And Irish dance is another story.
Yes.
It's my fake Irish jig step. Stiff upper body on the toes, high off the ground. Canadian is also higher off the ground and on the toes. I do a few mock steps from the Canadian traditions. The Cape Breton broken ankle. Yes, it's as scary as it looks. The Prince Edward Island pitter patter. So every step has a story. Some kids showed me another step with space in Dahlonega, Georgia, in the mountains. I learned to syncopate in Connecticut. And I added in a little step from the Watson family in North Carolina, the Willard Watson. The military from Rhode Island. Isn't that fun? So you get the idea. This is a very old style of dance. So I'm doing something very traditional with steps I've learned and pieced together from people all over the continent, really. For years we lived on an old farm in Rhode Island, and I would practice in the barn. Imagine a cold winter's day on a quiet New England farm, an 18th century farm. And I would go into our barn and concentrate, very much by myself. Quiet road, not a lot of cars. It was February, I think, and I was thinking about how much training goes behind improvisation and not knowing what you're going to do until a split second before you do it. I was seeing how fast I could go that day. All by myself. And I stopped, and I heard this on the road. You're getting better! And it was this guy who does a 10-mile loop on his bike, and he'd been monitoring my progress for weeks. Another time, a young couple moved into the nearest house to us, but we didn't meet them for a whole season. And when we did meet them, they said, we thought you were building an addition for a while. And no building ever went up. And then one other time, a guy was jogging by, and I was coming out of the barn after practicing, and he said, were you exercising horses in there? That is our